Hey, PinDude here. Welcome back to My Vintage Pinball. Pinball Restoration Update, Williams Rollergames, episode number 2. Today's episode, we're going to get started on restoring the coin door so we can get the coin door back on the cabinet, which will pretty much finish up the cabinet restoration. So to get started, I've taken some pictures of the coin door and I got them up on my computer here. I'm also, as I tear things apart, I'll take more pictures just so I have all the reference I need to be able to put this coin door back together properly. So let's get started. Alright, got the coin door all apart. Now all the parts that'll fit will go into the ultrasonic cleaner for cleaning. We'll have to hand scrub the stuff that don't fit. All the bare metal, screws and everything will go through the tumbler to get polished. And then we'll have to deal with scuffing up this coin door and getting it repainted. Alright, now I'm working on all the various plastic pieces from the coin door. These were pretty grimy on my roller games here. So we're pre-soaking them with mean green, and then we're going to use some of these brushes, various brushes, toothbrush, to pre-clean these parts. And this is only a pre-clean because after this, these plastic parts are going to go into the ultrasonic cleaner to get their final cleaning. And now that we have our parts pre-cleaned, we're just going to drop them into the ultrasonic cleaner and run that for a while. Once that cycle's done, we'll pull the parts out, put them on a towel. And then what we're going to do is blow them dry with a blowgun hooked up to my shop air. And while I'm doing that, we'll get the next part in the ultrasonic cleaner to be cleaned. Alright, now for the coin mechs, we had to come into the kitchen because I don't have a utility sink in my workshop. And if you've ever looked at a coin mech, they say right on them, clean only with hot soapy water. So I filled the sink tub here with some warm water and used just some regular dish soap. And we're going to use a bottle brush and a toothbrush and get these all cleaned up. And then after we get these all cleaned up, we'll blow them out real good with the blowgun and we'll be all set. So all the bare metal parts of the coin door have gone through the ultrasonic cleaner to clean, and now they are in the tumbler to shine up. They've been in the tumbler for about 2 days, so we're going to take them out today. All the other parts that I have already cleaned are bagged and ready to be reassembled once the coin door is done. And now I have the most important part of the coin door restoration left to go, which is to prep and paint the coin door frame, and any other black parts that need to be prepped and painted. So the coin door itself is not in too bad of shape, but some jabroni decided to paint the coin door without taking it apart. So you can see that they didn't take any of these parts off. So the original finish is right here, which is a nice flat finish. with the glossier speckles in it. And somebody came by and just decided to spray the whole door with looks like a gloss or maybe a satin. They also got a lot of overspray on the actual cabinet, which I had to clean off when I was prepping the cabinet. So what we're going to do is use a red Scotch-Brite pad to scuff the finish of the coin door. And then we'll finish it up with a gray Scotch-Brite pad, which is the ultra-fine pad. And then we'll hopefully be left with a finish that is suitable for repainting. So we're going to do that now and see what happens. Alright, to get started, we're going to clean this coin door off with some mean green here. There's no point in scuffing in all that dirt and grime. Alright, so now we're going to start sanding with the red Scotch-Brite pad. We don't want to be too aggressive here. We just want to make sure we get any loose paint off and smooth out the finish. And now we're going to switch over to a gray Scotch-Brite pad, which is the ultra fine, just to really smooth out the finish here and get any marks and mars out of it. Alright, before we proceed any further with any kind of painting, we want to give this a good cleaning with some kind of a pre-paint. I'm going to be using naphtha, as I normally do. And I'll be using these blue shop towels made by Scott. They're lint-free, unlike using something like a paper towel. And the main reason I use these is because they're disposable. If you use some kind of rag that you have laying around, it may have some kind of oils or wax or some kind of silicone product on it that you'll be spreading on the surface here, which will make your paint have adhesion problems. So we just want to give this a real good cleaning before we start applying any paint to this. And we'll be doing this on all the metal parts that we'll be painting. Alright, so we got all the metal parts prepped and we have them laid out on the cardboard here. And we sprayed them with a Rust-Oleum primer. This particular primer right here, which is Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Primer. I use that to cover all the bare metal and to give me an even surface to do my base coat. So we're getting ready to spray the base coat. The base coat is a Rust-Oleum product. It is actually a semi-flat black and it's quite difficult to find. So I ordered this from online. Rust-Oleum semi-flat black. And then after that we need to do the splatter paint, which we're going to do with spray paint. And this is Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Gloss Paint. And that's how we're going to do the splatter paint in the end, and I will show that process when we get to that point. But right now we're waiting on the primer to cure so that we can do the base coat. Alright, so we have everything sprayed with the base color of the semi-flat black. And it's been drying for quite some time. So now we're on to the most nerve-wracking part of the restoration, which is doing the splatter paint. Alright, so on to the splatter. Now this technique requires some patience, and you need to practice before you do this. So what we're going to do for the splatter is now we're using Rust-Oleum Gloss Black paint, just regular spray paint. And how we're going to get the technique is if you carefully just barely depress the nozzle, you'll actually get a splatter of black paint. The problem comes in if you press a little bit too hard, then you get a full spray, and then you've ruined your piece and you have to start over. So I've been practicing already, and what I found for me is I took a couple pieces of paper towel, took the nozzle off, put a couple pieces of paper towel under the nozzle, and that allows me to have a little more feel for this technique. But like I said, practice makes perfect, and you'll need to practice and see what works for you. So I just put down a piece of cardboard on the floor here, shake this can up, and we're going to see what we can do here. We just want to gently depress the nozzle. Like so. Now, obviously, we're not going to go that heavy on the piece, but that was a pretty good test. We'll try one more time. I'm using two thumbs, kind of holding the can. And there we go, right there. That is about the perfect splatter. So that's the kind of splatter effect you're looking for. Alright, so now we're going to do this for reals on the pieces here. The other thing you want to do is keep a paper towel on you. You're going to have to clean this nozzle quite often, because if you get too much paint on the nozzle, you might get some drips on your pieces. So here we go. Little practice shot there. So I'm kind of starting light. Don't want to go too heavy right off the bat. We can always add more later. Just checking all the sides to make sure I got the coverage I want. And we'll move along. I should have noted, gloves would have been a good idea for this. You can just see it makes a total mess of the nozzle. Really got to keep that clean. Alright, so the splatter paint is done. It's going to be hard to get this on camera. And hopefully you can see that effect. And it came out really good. I even kind of impressed myself on this one. We did all the pieces. And now we just got to let that dry. And then we'll be putting the coin door back together in a couple days. A really nice splatter effect, just like the original coin door would have had. Alright, so we came up to the home office to reproduce some of these stickers and warning labels that I removed from the cabinet, either because they were in my way from doing the restoration or they were just in such poor condition that I needed to reproduce them. So I either scanned in the decals that were on the cabinet if they were in decent condition, or I went to this website here, which I will throw up on the screen. This guy is amazing, and he has the various decals and warning labels for so many pinball machines, it's not even funny. So check out his site. It's just amazing. For the ones I needed to scan, I used my HP 4600 series flat scanner that you can just put up to the cabinet or wherever the decal is and scan it in. And then I bring it into Photoshop, and I'm able to clean up the image, make text for whatever my game was. I actually have this file from previous. I just have a saved version with no text, so I can add whatever game I want. Did the same for all the other various decals and stickers that I need. And then I throw it all into a 8.5 by 11 document that I can print out. And I did a couple test prints. There's a black and white test print. Here's the full color test print. And then finally, the final sticker, which I did on this laser gloss white sticker paper that I get from Palino.com. I'll throw their website up on the screen. And then on top of that, I'll be putting a waterproof over laminate sheet. It just helps protect the decals from any fingers or scratches or anything else. And here's the laser printer I'm using. It's a Brother HL3180CDW. It's a color laser printer, and that's what I use to print this sheet out. Works pretty good. It's very reasonably priced for a color laser printer. It's also a flatbed scanner, so I can highly recommend that. Alright, all the coin door parts have been restored, bagged and organized, and ready to put back together. So let's get this coin door together. Alright, so there's the coin door all back together. Let's get it bolted to the machine. Alright, so the cabinet is all done. Looks pretty good. Got the legs on. Got stickers on. Hope to pick up a new piece of glass in Allentown. That's usually where I get my new pinball glass, but I just put the old one in for now. And I won't be able to bring it in the house today because we have a big snowstorm going on outside in New Jersey. But that'll wrap up this episode. Episode 2 of the pinball restoration on Williams Rollergames. This is PinDude for My Vintage Pinball. See you later.